Hello, this is Ketchup.
And Mustard scuba diving. Today we wanted to show you how to do rescue 6 and 7 when the unconscious diver is wearing a dry suit. For rescue 6, you bring an unconscious diver up to the surface. So here you see Ketchup approaching the diver, assessing the scene, checking to see if the diver is responsive, checking to see if the valve on the dry suit arm is open, and if the diver has dry suit squeeze. He then deflates his own BCD, the regulator, securely in the mouth, opens the airways, and then uses my LPI to control the buoyancy as they ascend. So he added little bits of air just to get us positively buoyant. And he's then going to purge air from both the low pressure inflator hose and the side valve of the dry suit. He has to do both. This is the main difference from a regular Rescue 7 and a Drysuit-Rescue 7. As you go up, the air expands and the dry suit has to have air let out of it, as well as our low pressure inflator hose, all while going up at a safe ascent rate of no more than a foot a second. So we're slowly making our way up. Now we're transitioning into Rescue 7. So he has to inflate my BCD, inflate his BCD. He's now inflating my dry suit on the chest and closing the valve on my arm so that air actually stays inside my dry suit. Dropping my weights, dropping his weights, taking off my mask, taking off his mask, getting rid of my regulator, taking out his regulator, opening my airways, look, listening, and feeling for 10 seconds.
Kids, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000. 5, 1,000, 6, 1,000, 7, 1,000, 8, 1,000, 9, 1,000, 10, 1,000. Help! I have an unresponsive diver. Please call emergency medical services, 911.
He didn't hear me breathing, so he's now going to call for help and administer 2 rescue breaths. He now starts unclipping all of my gear. The main difference here is that he has to unclip a dry suit hose for me. He has to breathe every 5 seconds. He inflated my dry suit before he unhooked the valve. So that means as soon as he ditches my BCD, he can just use the buoyancy of the dry suit to float me in. I would recommend not fully inflating the dry suit because it then might become hard to undo the cummerbund or the chest straps. It also would be more drag as you tow the victim in. But at least partially or halfway inflate the dry suit before you begin unclipping things. The main difference with the dry suit is that you need to be very careful as you bring them to the surface because you have more than one place to deflate and vent excess air. And then on the surface, you need to remember to close the dry suit valve so that when you inflate, the air actually stays within the dry suit. And then you need to remember to unclip the dry suit hose so that it doesn't get caught and become cumbersome when you try to take off the BCD. If you follow these tips and tricks, it is pretty much otherwise the same as a classic PADI Rescue 6 and 7.
It's important to remember that there's no such thing as a perfect rescue. Every scenario is different, and you need to be able to adapt your rescue skills in order to fit the situation. Flick, and 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. Flick, and 1, 1,000. 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000.
He's going to keep towing in.
And
once his kit is off, he's going to administer 2 breaths to end the scene.